Factory, place with create objects. You can create clothes, create extra large size clothes, and even plastic bags. Mamma mia! So there are many software design patterns such as adapter, proxy, bridge, abstract factory, and many more. Today, I'm going to talk about abstract factory and factory method. Yes, they are both used to create objects, but what are their differences? First, let's explore the formal description. Abstract factory. It provides an interface for creating families of related or dependent objects without specifying their concrete classes, whereas factory method defines an interface for creating an object, but let the classes that implement the interface decide which class to instantiate. The factory method lets a class defer instantiation to subclasses. Alright, some people are not so good at formal definition, so let's explore further. Symbol factory. It's not a design pattern from GOF Gang of Four, but it is simple. So let's explore the symbol factory before we can explore the advanced one. So symbol factory is simple. The client, we actually call the symbol factory to create objects, and symbol factory return the objects. Clients call symbol factory return the objects the client want. So how symbol factory will actually create? There's a child class A or child class B or any other child class, as long as they share the same parent class. The client calls the symbol factory. You will expect a type of class which inherit the parent class. Expect is a type of parent class. So the symbol factory, based on some parameters, it returns it. It makes a lot of sense for the symbol factory to be a static method. Alright, some of us cannot visualize it. Let's see our best friend, the codes. This is the client. The client called the symbol factory, customer factory. So it expects iCustomer. iCustomer is the parent, is an interface here. So you get the customer. It's a static method in the symbol factory with some parameter. Based on this parameter, you know, oh, it's the gold customer or the silver customer. So let's see what we have here. Here is actually this part, child class and parent class. So this is the parent class, and this is the child class, the gold customer and silver customer. They both implement the same parent class, and it can have their own specific method and also the specified method by their parent class. So with all this information, the symbol factory will actually return the gold customer or silver customer to the client. So it's simple. Factory method. So in this pattern, we define an interface which will expose a method, the factory method, which create the objects for us. Return type of the object is never a concrete type. Rather, it be some interface, some abstract class. Okay, it's very important to note that in factory method, let the class defer instantiation of an object to subclasses. This factory will not instantiate the object. Instead, the subclasses will do so. Okay, and all this theory is same like the symbol factory. Okay, let's look at the codes. This is the factory method. So let's look at the client code. Base customer factory. As we can see, the interface base customer factory is equals to the gold customer factory, which is the subclass which implements the create method, which is the factory method, but is instantiated because it's the subclasses. So with this, it can actually use the method get customer to run all the methods and then return the appropriate objects to as the iCustomer. So all this theory is similar to what we have discussed in the simple factory. The only difference is it has this factory method and it defers the instantiation to the subclasses. So the subclasses will instantiate it. Then the client will actually call it. Abstract factory. Wow, looks very complex, but actually very simple. In abstract factory, we define an interface which will create family of related or dependent objects. In simple words, interface will expose multiple methods, each of which will create some objects. Again, here method return types will be generic interfaces. All these objects will together become part of some important functionality. Let's look at the codes. Okay, this is a scenario which actually create a computer and computer shop. Okay, so we can see there's so many individual small methods. Expensive processor or implement the I processors, and then expensive HDD, cheap HDD, they implement some different classes like I hard disk or I monitor, which the interface is created here, like store data, display picture, perform occupation. So with this, we have the abstract factory. This I machine factory, we actually get the RAM, get the hard disk, get the monitor based on the different parent class. However, these, when they combine, can form either the high budget machine or low budget machine. You can see like for I processor, it will get the expensive processor. Okay, can you relate that? Then we have the computer shop. So the computer shop, we actually, based on the category we want, assemble the machine accordingly. So the client code will actually use all of this. In short, abstract factory just use a lot. It can even use the factory method inside, but the most important principle is it can combine a group of either related or dependent objects and form important class, a special class, such as in this case, a high budget machine or low budget machine. Let's compare factory method and abstract factory side by side. Factory method defines an interface for creating an object, but let subclasses decide which class to instantiate. I hope this makes more sense now. It lets the class defer instantiation to subclasses, not the class it calls. Abstract factory provide interface for creating families of related or dependent objects without specifying their concrete class. So abstract factory is all about creating families of related or dependent objects. So what are their differences? Factory method is only one product, but abstract factory can have a set of many because it's all about creating families of related or dependent products. Factory method is only inheritance, but abstract factory can have composition. Why? Because there's a separate class dedicated to create a family of related dependent product, and its object can be passed to client which use it. So this is the composition part. So this is the example, and also the code earlier have shown that. So it's obvious, factory method is only a method, but abstract factory is a full class. Well, level of abstractions. Abstract factory is one level higher in abstraction than factory method. Some people call the abstract factory factory of factory. And factory method only abstract the ways objects are created, but abstract factory also abstract the way factories are created. One side another, the abstract factory can have factory method to create products, but also it can utilize some other design principles. Hope you have gained enough understanding about abstract factory and factory method. Here are some of the additional references which I find useful. Do explore them if you have time. Thank you.